Hey everybody, this is the Work in Progress podcast. I'm Tubbs.
I'm Rachael.
I'm Dale.
I'm sorry, Dale.
And we are coming to you not live, pre-recorded from Tecnicus Studios.
Yeah.
Today we were going to try something different. Instead of having a topic to talk about as a group, we were going to try something different and ask each other questions that we would like to hear each other answer. So it could get interesting, it could not, I don't know. If you do have suggestions, you can follow us on ArtistWIPP. You can email us at artistwip@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram,
Yeah.
which is an Instagram that I am pulling up currently. Come on, go. It's WIPP Podcast, at WIPP Podcast. You can leave suggestions for topics there. You can leave them on our YouTube comments, or you can email us. Either way, we'd love to hear from you, because we're lonely. we're not lonely. Yes, we are. But you can suggest topics you'd like to hear us talk about, questions for us, whatever you feel like talking about. So, to get started today,
Yes.
since I'm the only one talking, Rachael has a couple of questions for me and Dale. I have some for Dale and Rachael, and Dale has some for Rachael and I.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's get it started.
Click, click.
Sorry. That was Dale.
All right.
They don't know it wasn't
I'm
Dale.
not recording.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. I'm
Oh.
recording.
I was like, oh, shit. That was good.
I just wasted that $1 million intro on nothing.
All right, Dale. My first
Uh-oh.
question is, what scares you?
Ooh.
Aren't you? Never.
Spiders. I don't like spiders.
But why?
I don't know. The only thing I could think of is why spiders scare me is because I'm not a spiderologist, and I don't know which ones are venomous or not. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're sneaky. There was one time when I first moved into my house. I think maybe like the second week I was in my house, and I was making my bed, and I picked up one of the pillows on my bed to pull the blankets up, and a big spider, probably a little bigger than a silver dollar, came running across my bed, and I had just got out of bed too, so it.
It's been snuggled up next to you.
And it didn't look like a friendly one because it was fast, and if I understand, all the ones that run across the ground and stuff, those are hunting spiders, and they ambush things and bite them.
Mm.
I could be making that up. Like I said, I'm not a spiderologist.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that scares me, the idea of, is like treading really deep water out in the ocean.
Yeah.
And not being able to see below
Oh, I
me.
hate that. That's why I can't
In the
go
dark.
ocean. Sorry.
And I love the ocean. I used to go scuba diving and stuff, and it's not scary when you're underneath the water, but
I was gonna say, it's a little weird. I don't like it when I can't feel underneath.
it's once you
but
go
I
up to
scuba
the
dive.
surface and you're just sitting there treading water, you don't know, you can't see what's on below you. It's scary.
And it's an arachnologist, a person who studies spiders.
Oh, well, I was
Should help
right.
you out.
I was right the first time.
Well, tomato, potato.
Apples and oranges.
Toothpaste, orange juice, whatever.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's another fear. That's a new vape flavor. Toothpaste and orange juice.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm with you on the spiders.
Yeah,
Don't like them. And the ocean thing,
yeah.
I will stand on the beach and just sit back and enjoy the ocean all day, but don't ask me to go in it.
Oh, really? Not even.
Nope.
Huh.
Because once you get in that water, you are low on the
Yeah.
food chain,
Oh, yeah. You were
and
not,
I'm good.
You were in their habitat.
Exactly.
Huh.
I don't know. It's just something that, which is weird, odd, because I have a fear of death, but there's just something about. I guess I respect the ocean enough not to no, I just want to go play in it. No, I'm good.
It's kind of like
We have bears on land.
Yeah, the bears. I don't know. The bears I can handle for some reason.
Can you handle bears?
Well, if I could, that would be amazing.
you can handle a bear.
Come on,
We've been
little
talking about the
bitch.
wrong thing the whole this time on the podcast.
I don't know. There's just
fought off some bears. No big.
Heights make me uncomfortable, and I'm not afraid of heights. I'm not even afraid of falling. I'm just afraid of hitting the ground really hard.
I think you told me one time that if you're gonna fall from something, that you want to make sure that.
Oh yeah, I'm scared of hurt height. Like
Yeah.
off your roof is gonna hurt. Off a 3-story roof is gonna hurt. Off of Trump Tower, you're not gonna make it. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like on a plane, the worst times to be on a plane or take off and landing because you're so low to the ground. If you make a mistake, you're in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Once you're in the sky and people are like, we're in turbulence. If you're gonna die, like you're gonna die. But for the most part, pilots are somewhat experienced on flying. So if they're high enough and there's an error, they can glide it in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of why my head's like, well, if we're not gonna make it, we're not gonna make it. I get that, but it's the painful portion that's why when Dale said I'm uncomfortable with heights, is kind of why I understood, because I'm not scared of heights. When I'm climbing the ladder shakes. I'm like, oh, this is gonna suck. Not because I'm scared I'm gonna die. I'm scared I'm gonna hurt myself, and the pain's gonna suck. But if it's high enough, like if you fall, you die. Well, fuck it, let's keep climbing. And that's an odd thing that I feel about that, because there's some stuff with pain. Like my wife has that. She's like, you have the highest and lowest tolerance of pain of anybody I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been times where so I had something fall on my toenail, and you're supposed to clip around your toenail, is what I was told. Well, every time something would touch it, it hurt. So I just grabbed the toenail and ripped it off.
Oh,
What?
And that creeps people out.
yeah.
You what? Say that again.
The toenail.
Yeah.
You know how it's attached to the skin?
Yeah.
I grabbed, because it had broken towards the back, so the front of it was still attached.
Yeah.
I ripped that off.
You're putting a bad taste in my mouth.
Sorry.
Oh.
But she said, I've seen you do that, and I've seen your foot bleed, and you're fine. But if she comes up to me and she does that thing where like she pinches me or she pokes me really hard, I scream, ouch. Because I know the pain's coming there, and I know what the end result is. You just poked me for fun, and that hurt. And that's just one of the dumb pain tolerances I have. Like some stuff I'm like, okay, this is pain I have to work through. And when I talk to my son, like if it's gonna be something painful, I tell him like, we're gonna do this and it's gonna hurt the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But it can hurt for 2 seconds. Like when kids get splinters, people try to pick the splinter for 2.5 hours with tweezers.
Mm-hmm.
I cut it open.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to kill a
Oh,
cut
hell
than
yeah.
just to sit there and try to mess with something that's gonna fester.
Mm-hmm.
So my nieces and nephews, when they come, I'm like, this is gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt for 2 minutes tops. I'm gonna clean it, put a bandage on it, we'll be done. Or I can sit here and pick at it so I don't hurt your feelings for about 20 minutes. Take a pick. Just get it over with. Don't look at me. Slice. Pull it out.
Mm-hmm.
Put some Neosporin on it. Tape it back, or band-aid it back up. You're good to go.
Tape it back.
Tape it back up. Duct tape, which I've done.
Lick and stick.
But that's a weird thing about like pain. I see like some stuff I'm like, well, this is gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Oh well, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
But if it's just a random poke, I'm like, ow, what the? I don't know if it shocked me or it hurt, but I know I didn't like it. So I mean, that's kind of how I feel about some of that stuff. It's like if it's gonna have to hurt, I mean, if they tell you your bone's broken, you feeling bad about your bone is not gonna fix it. They're gonna
Yeah.
have to mess with it. So I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's something surprising, I'm like, scared. And when you were
Be
talking
gentle.
about being in the ocean, when I was in North Carolina with my uncle Jody, it's not my uncle, it's my wife's uncle. Well, he's family. We were frogging in the Croatan, and it's a swamp, and the water's past your just above your belly button, or just below your belly button, some spots depending on where you're at. And he's been doing it since his whole life. Anything having to do with hunting, fishing. I think he builds seawalls and he does a bunch of stuff. But anything having to do with outdoors, he knows it. So we're out there frogging. He's explaining me stuff to me, and he said, "So when you're looking for frogs, you're looking for their eyes. So you're shining light to look for their eyes. You blind them, you gig them, or you grab them. That's how you catch frogs." Excuse me. And while we were doing that, I noticed little twinkles, and I was like, "What are the twinkles?" He's like, "Oh, those are spiders." And I was like, "Okay, well, they're not. The way I feel about that is most of the time you're way too big for them to eat. They're not gonna mess with you unless you're messing with them. Personally, I know it's not always the case, but that's how I feel.
I just saw this image of a spider just jumping on your face like the alien.
Established dominance.
That's how much I don't like them.
But while we were doing that, I was like, man, that's kind of creepy. And then he said, stop. We're walking in the water, wading in the water. We're wading in the water, and he says, stop. And I stopped, deadly still. We're there for a few seconds more. He goes, okay, let's go. I'm like, what's that? He goes, there's a cottonmouth in the water. I'm like, so the one that we can't get to medical care if it bites us, that's in the water? I'm like, I'm not comfortable in this water anymore. And I thought he was joking, but he goes, well, you haven't said anything about the alligators over there. He shines a light towards the bank, and there's alligators just chilling on the bank of the water. And I was like,
Nope, I'm out.
well, okay.
All of a sudden,
they're cool.
you
They're like 4 or 5 foot alligators. Not gonna do anything to you. But I was like, that's gonna hurt when they bite. I got real city real fast. But no, we kept fishing, and that's kind of how I feel about it. I mean, stuff's gonna get you. Stuff's gonna get you.
Yeah.
Just if you're in the ocean and a shark, it's gonna be a cool story, or you're not gonna feel anything anymore. Those are your 2 choices.
Someone gets you, just like, got me.
Tag, you're it.
Tag, you're dead.
I feel more comfortable on the land.
See, that's where that joke comes from. Because somebody told me the joke about the bear. The people are scared of sharks. We have fucking bears. You can't outrun a bear. You can get out of the water free from a shark. You go into the water with a bear. Bear's like, oh.
Well, depending on what
cool.
bear it
I'll
is, you can climb a tree, and they're just going to be at the bottom like,
How long you stay in that tree though, Rachel?
hey.
Your food. They'll chill.
Why?
Kitty's
We had a cat join the podcast.
I heard that.
It's a podcast cat.
I don't know if it's 100% accurate, but I heard that polar bears are one of the few, or probably the only, land predator that actually will hunt humans. I'd heard that.
I kind of believe it because there's not too much to eat out there, and you're meat, so.
They want to get tired of snow cones.
These just taste like water.
And Coca-Cola.
Oh yeah. Santa Claus is awesome. But yeah, that's what you're scared of.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, and I'm done.
Yep.
Cool.
Got enough. Okay, my next question to you, Dale.
2 from Rachel.
Yep. What is your dream creation?
Let me take this one down. No, I'm just
My dream creation?
Brunette.
Man.
A real doll. I would make a real doll.
A what?
There's people that do
She
that.
said brunette. I was thinking of the real dolls.
There's people that have
As
those.
opposed to fake dolls?
No, have you seen the real dolls?
The lifelike?
It's a woman-shaped doll made of sex having
sex
little
doll?
plastic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're called real dolls, Dale.
Huh.
Have some respect for
Those are the
the
ones that
community.
are like $10,000?
I don't know. I've never tried to purchase one, but yeah, around that price.
Oh.
What was that show?
I got one on layaway.
$997.93, but whatever.
What was that show on HBO? Taboo? Or
Yeah.
what? Yeah. That
Oh
was.
my
One
gosh.
used.
Was it? No, was it?
That was
Taboo?
like. Yeah, I thought it was
No, because that was National Geographic.
weird sex or.
Oh my gosh, you're talking about
yeah.
I remember it was
the-
a while back
oh
ago.
my gosh.
But there was one where the guy owned a bunch of those real dolls, and he had a bedroom full of them, and he would dress them up, and he had names for them, and then he would.
Real sex.
Yeah, Real Sex. God, I love that show. That show was awesome.
Weird memories of that show. Because you're a kid and you have access to HBO and you're watching like, oh, there's going to be all kinds of naked chicks. No, it's just a 45-year-old dude getting jerked off. That's very awkward.
Yeah, this guy had a room full of those dolls.
That's cool.
Which, hey,
Into it would do it.
it just brought up that memory.
Well, I think since monsters, I think my dream creation would be to be able to create some kind of new iconic horror figure, something completely new, an original. I mean, there's a lot of slasher movies out there, and basically all just different versions of each other. I mean, but yeah, if I could come up with some kind of monster or creature that could become an iconic monster from a monster movie or something, I think that would be that'd be a great achievement. But
That's a really good question.
it
Hey,
is.
thanks. Wait until your questions come around.
What's your favorite movie?
Hey,
Do
why
you like
don't you
long walks on the
why don't you
beach?
create the? Nah, you guys thought we blanked it out. I just
What?
didn't say anything
Oh,
to make it sound like you would cut it out so you can create it.
What?
What?
I said, why don't you create that, and then made a long pause,
Hmm.
as to make it sound like you cut that part out so you can actually create it.
What?
It's not the greatest joke.
No.
It was like on some fourth dimension stuff. Never mind.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks for listening.
And that was a joke that killed the podcast.
We had a great run.
Okay,
It
Rachel.
happened one time. Just one time.
That's all it takes. Do you have an idea of the creation or like a job?
I don't. That's the thing. It is.
Oh, I guess you.
I would have created it, Tubbs. I would be working on it.
Have you ever thought of like maybe like a zombie? The fact that you've named it means it's already created.
Thanks for trying to push me in that direction, though.
You know, Joe, whatever I can do to further your art is really where I'm at in life.
You're gonna try to trick me into coming up with it. What is it? What's it called?
Got him.
What's its name?
Well,
no, the reason
shoot.
I say like genre is because like there's like obviously sci-fi covers
Uh-huh.
a huge spectrum and there's zombies
yeah.
and then there's aliens and then there's, you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
there's creatures and then, well, I think I guess they're all creatures, but you know what I mean. I didn't know if it was something.
Yeah. No, I would
Create a genre
I
there.
mean, I know it's aiming high, but I think it'd be, if I could come up with something that would be as iconic as Wolfman or The Mummy or Dracula, that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Not, that's not, I wouldn't say that's my life goal in art, but that would definitely be a dream creation.
You should, so I can ride your coattails.
Okay.
That would be awesome. I'd be okay with riding your coattails.
Yeah.
I mean, well, yeah, I know the guy that created that. Best friends, basically. Forever. Known since we were in grade school.
Hey, you remember me? Oh.
Hey, Dale, remember me?
Remember all those chips and drinks I bought you?
That's what that is, just a long-term investment for when he creates that genre. Do you remember the chips you owe me? Let me into this club.
Well, Tubbs, you ready for yours?
I am ready.
What is your favorite quote?
That is a deep question. I have it written down in my phone.
I like deep questions.
I like stuff too. It's I don't know who this dude is, but it's live so that when your children think of fairness, caring, and integrity, they think of you. H. Jackson Brown Jr.
What's that mean to you?
It says children. I think of people.
Children.
I remember. What's that?
Children are people.
No, well, yeah, but children are kind of assholes too. No, it says children. I'm sure. I probably, maybe at the time I read it first, it maybe set heavy because of my son, but I also think people. The comedian I listen to, the comedian whose podcast I listen to, dude, I'm not gonna not remember his name right now. That is totally happening. Pete Holmes. Wow. I literally listened to his two of his episodes before I drove to work and on the way home. But he was, I can't remember where he got the quote from, but he said, people won't remember what you did, they'll remember how you made them feel. And I thought that was really cool, which as an artist that creates stuff, probably not useful, but I do think that speaks a lot to art, because a lot of times art might be a painting, but somebody will find something in that painting that like one of my favorite paintings of Dale's is a quick sketch he did. He made a video for it. It's on his YouTube channel, Tecnicus Studios. But it's my favorite sketch. My favorite anything. That sounded a little weird. I'm not in love with Dale. Just that was the first thing I saw somebody draw that made me look at something besides, oh, that's a really good rendition of this, or that's a painting of a skull.
Mm.
Or the Mona Lisa. I don't know what the Mona Lisa means to people. I know it's really famous. I know it doesn't have eyebrows.
Ooh, that'd be another thing to witness. The painting of Mona Lisa. Anyways, sorry.
That was a podcast ago. Live in the now, Rachel.
Sorry.
No, but
That was last week.
But when people see like Van Gogh, Starry Night.
Sure.
Sure,
Yeah.
okay. It's Van Gogh, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I always make the joke. I remember it's Van Gogh because he couldn't hear the crickets because he had cut his ear off. It's a dumb joke because it's not even.
Oh, I get it.
It's dumb. Anyway,
Got it.
but
So
Next.
next song. No, but that was the first, like, the thing that I saw that I was like, oh, that's what that means. And I think, like, a lot of times we watch a movie, and the reason we like it, like some movies we like, if we talk with friends about it, like, that movie was horrible. Well, I liked it for this reason. And I think that's why, is because you can't describe what about the movie you like. It's because it makes you feel something different.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was pretty powerful. If you can make somebody feel, you can affect somebody. You can make something, and some people will find it useful, but if you can make somebody feel, they'll remember how you made them feel.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm really mean to some people, really nice to other people. I'm not gonna shit on make you feel, but some people I'm like, hey, high five, great day. You're awesome. Because you have the power to make somebody feel better. Or feel. Not better. I mean, you're not gonna cure cancer with a hug, but you can definitely affect people by just, especially the people you care about, by trying, and you're gonna fuck up because everybody fucks up, but you can definitely change the way somebody feels. Or make them feel better. Or make them feel good. Or make them feel happy, or make them feel sad, or make them feel somber. You can do that. And that's kind of why I understand art a little bit more now, but I still don't understand why. Like, that's just a painting of lines, but it makes me feel like this. It makes me feel like somebody painted lines.
Mm-hmm.
But to somebody, they may look at that, and because there was a 311, there was an interview with, I think, the bass player, Peanut, and he was saying that when you listen to music, the music comes into your ears and you're playing it to yourself. So when you make music and somebody else listens to it, and I don't make music, but I do consume it, I think it's really cool that you're playing it to yourself, and if people make stuff you like, if people make stuff you like, they're playing that. If people make stuff you like, you're playing their music. Basically, you know what I mean? And he thought that was really powerful to say, like, we've made music for X amount of years and people still show up to concerts, people are still super faithful.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of cool to understand that they like our music because they like our music, but kind of at a deeper level, they're playing the music to themselves, and that kind of means a little bit more because they're the way he described it. And that's kind of in the same area of, people might not remember what you did, but they will remember the way you made them feel. Deep. I didn't mean to get deep, just that's what I was thinking. It's a lot of
What do you
dead
think
space.
about that, Dale? Do you have a favorite quote?
I've got lots.
That was a quote for him. That was my question. Don't bogart my question.
I've got a lot of favorite quotes, and I was thinking the other day that I'm pretty impressed with myself that I've held back on quoting H.L. Mencken 1,000 times.
You know what? Me too, honestly, because when you're talking about it.
There's a few times I've been wanting to quote him, but I didn't want to overdo the quotes.
Why
but
not?
huh?
Why not?
But yeah, I've got quite a few favorites.
Scrolling.
Which, you guys can keep talking because I was gonna
Another
go
one of
with
my favorite quotes is, "I love bad bitches. That's my fucking problem." And yeah, I like to fuck. I got a fucking problem.
One of my
By the contemporary artist, 2 Chainz.
That's awesome. One of my all-time favorite quotes is there's a movie. I think it was back in like when Charlton Heston was doing his movies. It was about Michelangelo, and there was a character.
He's such an artist. It's Michelangelo.
I know. There was a character in the artist. God dang it! In the movie, where
I thought the character was
where
inside
Michelangelo went to like bar or pub, whatever they called it back then, during
Ye
Michelangelo's
olde pub.
time. Yeah, and there was a barrel of wine And they started drinking it, and it would just taste like shit. And so the guy said, well, if the wine is sour, throw it out. And it's like, that's such a perfect quote for anything in your life, like whether it's art or whatever. It's like, if it's not good, then why keep it around? Throw it out. Move on. And
you shouldn't say that because we kept a lot of these podcasts. Just kidding. We're awesome.
Oops, sorry.
Dinner bell.
I was about to break into a Buddhist stance.
So that's one of the things I kind of carried with the art. If something's not working out, it's like, well, then why keep going with it? Just throw it out and start over again. If the wine is sour, throw it out. Oh, it's from the movie The Agony and Ecstasy.
Oh.
It's a great movie. It's cool.
Well, I couldn't. I thought I had it on my phone, but I couldn't find the quote that I was looking for. I didn't want to misquote it, but basically, H.L. Mencken, he said, and for me personally, it reflects my political beliefs, but he said, I believe in one thing, and that one thing is liberty, but I believe in it so much that I wouldn't force it upon anyone. And I love that, because that's about as...
I want to be free. If you don't want that, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one of my favorites. There's a lot, though. I mean, a lot of his quotes are not just quotes, but they're entire paragraphs and articles that he's written that are really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, your second question is,
Excuse me.
what inspires you at this point in your life?
In what respect?
Well,
It's your question, dude.
Paco. In the respect of,
Like what I'm doing right now?
yeah, like why do you get up in the morning? Like what?
Gotta pee. Can't do it in the bed.
That's a pretty good answer. I can
Oh,
pee the
sorry.
bed, but then I get yelled at for standing out the bed and peeing on it. Just a whole different set of things I don't want to deal with.
And if you stand on the bed and pee, it all runs towards your feet. Cause
Yeah, that's weird. No, I got one of those memory foam mattresses.
Oh.
Pretty sweet. Doesn't puddle.
It doesn't puddle.
What inspires me right now?
Was that what made you buy it? That was the selling point.
I haven't done it, but like I want to do that thing with the glass of wine. But then I'm like, if you fuck up my bed, I'm gonna be really pissed because they always jump on. I'm like, you're full of shit. They don't do that. What inspires me? I want to, and not to get too crazy, but I feel like a lot of people, at least I feel this way. Like a lot of people want to be at level 25 or level 70 or level 100. And they don't understand that the reason people got at that level is because they messed up and because they did horrible mistakes to what they're trying to do. And that's anything, art, music, whatever. If people already want to be done. And I think even like the times where we all talk as friends, because we are friends. Maybe. No, we all, when we've talked about stuff we're doing, there's been times where I know you guys have noticed, like, or maybe I'm just assuming you noticed, but there's times where I don't do a lot of work or I'm not really super pressing to finish something or do something, and it kind of makes me feel shitty because it's not that I want to be the best at everything, but I'd like to be able to do something, like, for example, Rachael, when you say I'm gonna make a cutting board, you have a time frame in your head. You have an idea of where you're going to go with it, and you know the steps you're going to take. Mm-hmm. And those steps and that time frame and the planning comes from experience of having done it X amount of times. Just like when Dale says, I want to make this sculpture. He knows what he's going to do beforehand, the stuff he has to prep, how much time it's going to take to do this. I'm going to have to stop at this point because it's going to take X amount of hours. I'd like to want to make something and have the experience of knowing that I can make it. And that's it. I mean, I think it's really cool to have stuff that you make yourself in your house. But to have stuff you make in your house, it has to look good. And you have to mess up on the way. And that's why I don't really necessarily press myself too hard when it comes to the projects I'm working on. I do try to finish stuff, and I love working on stuff in houses. I mean, like electrical, putting up ceiling fans, stuff like that. I like working on stuff because I like seeing how stuff works. What inspired me is knowing how stuff works and how it comes together. On one front, because I think it's cool to know stuff. On the other front, because I'd like to be able to make something. And if I know how a rounded table's made that goes into a corner and how it's supported, I can make a table out of it, or I can make a shelf, or I can, you know.
So knowledge inspires you?
I wasn't good at school. But now with the with YouTube University, you can learn how to do a lot of stuff, and there's so many people out there willing to teach people. Because I think before, when somebody knew how to do something, they could kind of hold it over your head, and that was always, I don't, maybe that's just my perception, but if you want to know something, you had to kind of be either part of a clique or in a group, or you know what I mean. Whereas now I feel like there's so many people, because I think most people are decent people or good people. But now there's so many people that want other people to do it. For example, my son's 8 years old, and we got him a skateboard. There are videos. There's a company called Rachael that puts on videos on YouTube that show just basic. This is how you stand on a skateboard, and they don't have to do that. They're not making it, though they might be making money off it, but they're not. You know what I mean? They're not. They do it because, and their answer is, we want more people to skate. We want everybody to skate. And I mean, if you look at like the Samurai Carpenter or the Period Craftsman, or they always like, well, I know Period Craftsman does, and a couple of other people, but they always say, this is how I did it. If you're gonna make it for this, you should do it this way. If I were doing this, I would do it this way. They don't have to do any of that. Yeah, I mean, they maybe get money or whatever the case is, the YouTube situation is, but they're not making enough money to quit. They're doing it because they like what they do, and they want other people to like that kind of work. And I mean, if you look at your YouTube stuff, I mean, if you split ours up right now, I like music, so I look up a lot of different kinds of music. But if you look at Dale's, you'll see sculptures, sculptors, how to sculpt, how to get this texture, how to get this color. If you look at yours, you'll see wood, how to cut this wood, how to work this wood, how to cut these angles, how to use this for this. And I mean, since we have that, I kind of feel like if you want to know how to, if you don't know how to do something, it's because you don't want to know how to do it. And I think it's really cool to be able to make stuff from scratch. I like, my uncle was very poor, but everything he had, he made. He repurposed stuff, and it was really cool. And I remember thinking, that'd be cool to do this, and that'd be cool to do that. And he was a sailor in Mexico, and he used to repair nets when he got older. He would repair fishing nets. And he knew how to do everything, and I knew how to do nothing. And I didn't like that. So I started working, and as of now, what motivates me or what inspires me is honestly my friends, like you guys, my wife, my son, because my son breaks something and says, Dad, can you fix it? It's broken, we gotta throw it away. And that kind of makes me smile when he says, Dad, can you fix it? Because my son at 8 years old knows that I'll try to fix something that's broken. And I mean, that's not a lot of people are like that. And I think it's cool that I am, or that I at least try to be.
Yeah.
Because there's some stuff that's broken you can't fix, but there's some stuff that's broken that you can turn to something else. And I kind of like that. You don't always have, I mean, I'm sure the one thing we'd all want is more time to do more stuff, or more money, or more resources, but what kind of motivates me is you guys are always working on something.
Oh.
April wants certain things made, so she's like, oh, if you try working on this, can you make this? And or I've told her, you want this made, I have to work on this so I can get an idea of what that's going to be like. So inspiration, as far as inspiration, I just like being able to do stuff. And I know it's a really kind of base answer, or simple answer to it, but it's the truth. I like it when somebody can say, can you make this? Yes, I can. Or let me help you. People I help.
So you like the challenge?
Not that I won't help you if I don't like you, or will help you either way, but sometimes, yeah, the challenge, but really it's just, I like working on stuff. I like starting something and finishing it.
Yeah.
And seeing it done. And people saying, oh, because you guys are really good about constructive criticism, but I'm really big and mean. So most of the time they're like, oh, it's really great. I would have done this, maybe, but that looks really good. Or next time do this. Especially with wood. Rachael does a lot of wood, and a lot of times, the stuff you'll say is, you can do this to fix it. What you'll say is, the next time you do that, you can try doing this, and you'll achieve this result if you're unhappy with this. Because I mean, everybody, like your own worst critic. In some cases that's bullshit, but I mean, Rachael, you make cutting boards for people, so you say, I wish this would have came out a little bit more this way, but next time I do it, I can try this way. And Dale says, well, I finished this sculpture and I really like the way this looks, but I feel like the texture would look better if I tried this. And you do the same thing with your own stuff. Is next time I do this, I'm gonna try it this way.
Yeah.
So I mean, inspiration. I don't know. I need a hook, and then I get inspired to make something that has a hook on it. Or for beer money, or just beer.
$20.
$20.
Dale, do you have anything?
Why are you giving Dale my questions? I didn't take any of Dale's questions.
It's fun to hear other people's answers.
I'll just do short answers because I usually do that.
What inspires you at this point in your life?
Teen pregnancy.
Money. He's not all about that money.
Dickers.
Inspires me.
What's motivating you nowadays?
Pirates.
Yeah, kind of got to be a motivation right now for my current project, but.
Arr. Did you hear about the new pirate movie coming out?
Yeah.
It's rated R.
God. Dad joke. God.
Dad jokes.
Oh, I'd say since.
I love how mad Rachel is right now. She's not mad. She's disappointed, to be honest, with the listeners. Sorry, Dale. Inspiration. As of now.
As of now, well, since sculpting is my biggest passion right now, I'd say just constantly trying to come up with that next masterpiece, I guess. I mean, every time I do a sculpture, I'm pretty much always happy with it, but I always want my next project to be better than the last. So I think that's what inspires me to keep going with that.
Dig it.
If that's the right way to answer that question.
There's no right way to answer these questions, Dale.
Okay.
There's no right
Every
or
time
wrong.
Rachel makes rules for something, she changes them. She answers, so you can answer whatever the hell you want. You could say peanut butter brownies.
Oh,
You'll
yeah.
be fine.
Peanut
Somebody
butter
living in the
brownies.
past.
What?
Are you living in the past?
Yeah. Why you play toilet plunger for your birthday? You like bring up old shit.
Well, that was it for my questions.
Now it's my turn.
All
Unless
right.
Dale, you'd like to take over.
Yeah, I was still trying to think of my fourth
Okay.
question because I was.
Fourth. I only did two.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'll you go. You go. Who goes?
Oh,
I go. That's how we
Okay,
agreed to
go.
in the beginning.
okay.
In the beginning, it was said, Rachel, Dale. All right, Rachel.
Yes.
Because it's the order in which I wrote them.
No.
Okay. What do you think is the biggest misconception about you when people meet you after seeing your work or knowing your work? I don't know if that's.
Please share it with the class.
No, just something
your
people don't know. Like,
words. So I've been thinking about these past couple days.
that I won't cut them with a.
I know. So when I was in college, I had one of my fellow art classmates. I don't know whatever.
God, she's such
fellow
a-
art
She's
students.
such an artist.
No, she actually came up to me. And she's like, you don't look like one of those typical artists. I'm like, what? How the fuck are you supposed to? Like, what are you talking about? She
Did you forget your beret that day?
I guess so. And I'm like, there's a look. I didn't.
There is.
Is it?
There is. Because whenever we're together, they're like, who are those two artists with Tubbs? I don't know.
So that's always stayed with me. I'm like, you don't look like the typical artist. I'm like, well, what the fuck are they supposed to look like?
Well, now, though, that's... How long ago was that? It's got to be a while back, because now everybody looks like an artist.
That was back in. I graduated in 40.
The year of our Lord.
God,
No, I
when
don't
did
have to tell the date. I'm just saying
No,
now everybody's an artist because
I think that was back in 2001.
It's not that long ago.
Oh.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Don't say that.
exactly.
Don't say that.
Somebody did
Anyway.
the math.
Anyway, I'm bad at maths. There's more than one. I don't know why people say math. Now everybody, like, if you wear a scarf, really tight jeans, and like a vest under your long sleeve shirt, you're an artist. You don't do anything. but like you're a sandwich artist. I don't know. Everybody's an artist.
Yeah.
Like I've talked to some
Another one of those overused words like customs.
Friends, yeah, like friends of friends. Oh, I'm an artist. I'm like, oh, what do you do? And I saw some of their paintings. I'm like, oh, like, do you sell them? No. Oh, do you do them a lot? Well, those are the 4 I've made. Those are the 4 you've made. Huh. Okay. Cool. I mean, maybe they only do one a couple of years, but I'm kind of an artist, which I kind of feel which I'm
Can I
guilty
read
of.
your question again?
What?
I just want to read that question again.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to.
What?
It's in code.
God bless America. Just
I even turned it upside down again.
let me read it to you, Rachel.
Please do.
What do you think is the biggest misconception about you when people meet you after knowing or seeing your work?
That
Like
I'm
after they see,
that
like,
I'm
your
a
cutting
guy
boards.
that does woodworking. Because
So
there's
the
we get
biggest
people
misconception that people have is that you're a guy, or that you're not a
before
guy.
or after.
Well, no, like because the reason I asked is
I guess I'm not
You're
tracking.
saying
well, it was my niece. Do you remember when you met my niece?
The
Um,
one
the taller one.
the one that works at
No, she's met.
Dillard's.
The taller one. So when she met my niece, I had shown her because I didn't realize I didn't put a sex to Rachel's name or to. I always say my friend, just in case I start cheating on my wife. I don't want. I'm just joking. Love you. So I said no. My friend does this, and I showed her the painting, and I think the first one was the lines. The ones that look like
the
tulies.
trees. The trees.
They're trees.
Yeah.
Looks like tulies in a
Thanks,
reflection.
friend.
It looks like tulies in a reflection.
No,
I
they're
genuinely
trees.
thought they were tulies.
They're dead trees.
Oh, I'm sad. I thought they were tulies this whole time. That's why I was like, I would totally buy that because it reminds me of the lake.
awkward.
Podcast is over.
Love you.
You don't get art, do you?
I don't do that. We had this conversation. No, I thought they were tulies. Anyway, I showed her that, and then I was
Hey,
like,
you know what?
You know what? Maybe
You're
I
looking
did
at
say
it, so it can be whatever
maybe
you want.
Maybe I did say because I said, oh yeah, she makes cutting boards, and I showed her the cutting board and then the scoops and stuff, and she was as interested as a teenager could be. She's like, oh, it's really cool. She made it by hand. Blah blah blah. Well, I don't mean it in a bad way. Just
Yeah.
and she's like, that was her. What were you expecting? Did she forget her beret? Like, I don't.
Exactly. Like.
Yeah.
But that's why I asked because I remember that oh, that was her. Yeah, she's the one that does that. Oh, and I don't know. They don't tell me like, oh, she didn't have.
She didn't look eccentric
She didn't have a carpenter's
enough.
pencil in her ear, so I assumed.
Right. Yeah. Walk around with a tool belt.
It was the same with
She must have taken her safety glasses off when she got here. Like, I don't know what they're expecting.
kind of the same effect when you hear somebody on the radio and then see them in real life.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. That's
He's got
throwing
a
me
face
off.
for radio.
We all do a podcast. Maybe not say that.
Yeah. No. Yeah. See, I don't.
Well, it's just when you said that, and maybe that's not what I was thinking of initially. But right when you said you don't look like an artist, I was like, people do say, "Oh, that was her." Like, what did you?
Yeah. I don't.
She's not holding one of her cutting boards. Is that what you?
Just walk around with.
Oh, my name's
Hey guys,
Rachel.
what's up?
No bigs. Let me show you my wares.
Hi, I'm Rachael Cutting Board.
Just a trench coat with cutting boards and cheese boards in it. Want to buy a cheese board?
Let me show you my.
But that's why I asked because
I tried a
I think you told
2007
me.
cutting board.
I think you told me about the dude thing where people were like, "Hey man, can you make this?" Yeah, I can. But I know that it's funny that that's kind of their. Oh, that's her. Yeah.
I don't get it. Like.
What you? You didn't take your mask off because you were sanding earlier.
I guess, or I need to walk
Just,
around.
you know what? Like we'll make you like a necklace that's just like sandpaper,
Yeah.
and then just like a little bit of what's it called, mineral oil, so people know what you're about.
What was
Just
that
from now
rap?
on, anytime you leave your house, just grab a handful of sawdust and poof, right on your face.
What was that
No-
rap
no body
artist that
spray?
wore that big watch, the big clock on him? Do you remember, Dale?
Flavor Flav.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, Flavor Flav. So
You know what time it
so
is.
he wore a clock. What if I wear like a saw blade?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he wasn't a clockmaker. He was a rapper.
Yeah, but
And he wore a clock because he always knew what time it was.
well, I mean,
Sandpaper, mineral oil, Rachel. Stick to the basics. Because with your look, you'd wear the saw blade, and people would be like, "That's my friend that makes cutting boards."
I think people have
That's
I think some people have a certain look about what artists should look like. Maybe. I don't even know because I still don't quite understand it. Because I
They're like, "Oh, you work with Tubbs? Yeah. You know he works with the lady that does wood cutting boards? Yeah, that's me." Nah.
yeah, no, that's not you. Yeah.
That is funny.
Yeah.
I only had one question apiece, so
Okay.
my next question's for Dale.
Mm.
Dale,
Yes.
let me clear my throat. That
Let
was the
me
question.
clear my throat.
That was,
After you finish your a sculpture, in hindsight, what's your most enjoyable part of it? Is it the planning? Well, these are just some examples of planning. The I can't read my own writing. The shaping, finishing work, painting, completing. You know what I mean? Like in retrospect, what are you the most satisfied with? I guess what I should have wrote was, what are you most satisfied with?
I guess it would be the end product. I mean, I do enjoy the concept part once I actually come up with something that I like, and then I get really excited to start it because I can't wait to see it in 3D, but the completed work now, after painting it, is, well, actually, I'd say the painting process is probably one of my most favorite aspects of sculpting. But as I keep trying to come up with new creative ways to do it, and I started doing the YouTube videos, now making the videos actually become part of the sculpture. Like it's
It has to be
'Cause
in
I-
your head while you're sculpting. Like,
yeah, because like I'll go back and forth from sculpting to editing the video, back and forth. So it, seeing the edited video is like a major part of the sculpture itself to me. Whether anybody else sees it that way or not, I don't really care. But
So the painting.
yeah, I really enjoy the airbrushing.
Mm-hmm.
Because Tubbs is adjusting himself.
It always sounds like. Never mind.
it's not that. It's this.
I was
Oh,
Sorry, it's what's making it uncomfortable.
what did he
Into my
say? Blazing Saddles. Just let me.
Hold on a second while I whip this out. Where the white women at?
That's an awesome movie.
Sorry, it made it uncomfortable.
so my favorite part, I guess.
Dig it.
There's so many things you can do with the paint job. It's either you can make it look goofy. It was like one of the things that Casey Love, the sculptor, artist, painter, said. He's like, you can make a bad sculpture look good with a good paint job, and you can make a good sculpture look bad with a bad paint job.
So literally,
paint
you
job is-
polish a turd.
Yeah,
Case and point. I poured it myself.
I don't know. That's makes the paint job the most important
It would be
part.
literally.
One of the most important parts, or equally as important. 'Cause I think a lot of artists, well, a lot of sculptors and paint and stuff, that they get so wrapped up in the sculpting part that they just want to rush through the paint job and finish it, and then they don't even think about it. But I've even seen a lot of sculptors, they don't even paint, they just do the sculpting and somebody else paints it.
Well, I think you.
I enjoy the full project as a whole.
I don't know if you've said it on the podcast or not, but I know we've been talking. I know we brought it up once on the podcast when we were talking about would you make a replica or would you replicate the work, and you said you would make a mold of it to make it again just to see what it would look like if you painted it differently.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of.
I'd make very limited copies of something, but I wouldn't sculpt it over again.
I will buy one for $7.
Okay, that's a good deal.
Like, this is just
That should cover.
Nothing.
I'll think about it.
The wire.
Yeah.
This is just a lollipop. By the way, it's gonna be 15. Oh. Cool.
It's good questions.
Yeah. So, my turn to ask?
It's your turn to ask.
Oh, okay.
I'm a deep thinker, Tubbs.
What were we going to say, Tubbs?
What?
I thought you were going to say something.
I was not.
Oh, okay. Well, I have 3 questions. I was going to try to come up with 2 for each of you, but I couldn't really, so...
Well, the third can be split between...
Okay.
We can
Okay.
both answer it.
Yeah. Well, we'd do it that way. Because you said that, and yeah.
Okay.
So, Rachel,
Yes.
what are things that bug the crap out of you for no reason at all?
Oh, God.
'Cause
The list. God.
Keep in mind, he
So
only has
many-
so much storage on his computer.
Yeah, it reminds me of like the second podcast when I said I was at the urgent care.
Oh.
And I was like, oh yeah, I'm getting so better at this. Like, it's, no, I'm not.
And she almost stabbed somebody at work.
Yeah.
So one of them is how people chew gum. I don't want to hear it. I just shut it down, and I don't enjoy people who smack their lips when they eat. Don't enjoy that. Let's see what else. Oh, wait, what was the question? Things that bug the crap out of you. What's another? God, we could spend hours on this.
We'll cover this over the next few episodes.
It's just going to be a list.
Yeah.
This is what Rachel hates. Episode 2.
You know what's funny? Like, I try not to do this, but I have a habit of chewing on my nails. But I don't like it when other people do it. It bugs the shit out of me. Yeah, don't. Please
All
don't.
right, done.
Oh, and I don't like it when people blow their nose when I'm eating. That's fucking gross. Or they huck a loogie when I'm brushing my teeth. That is fucking gross.
These
Like,
combinations you come up with are quite amazing.
no, because I had an
When people stand
ex-girlfriend.
on one foot when I'm eating ice cream.
No, I had an
Too bad
ex-girlfriend.
it's not a video podcast because Rachel starts off with, yeah, and then I like to see where the universe takes me. And these motherfuckers that chew. I'm sitting here brushing my teeth. This piece of shit blows his nose. Just the sheer hate in your eyes when you said it. I was like, I didn't do it. I've never even seen you brush your teeth.
Oh, I had an ex-girlfriend when we'd brush our teeth. You know, that's what couples do. You know.
No, the
Well,
couples don't do that. That's
I'm not
weird.
done brushing my teeth, and she's right next to me, just leans back and just gets hawks a big old loogie, and I'm like, gagging. I'm like, seriously, do you have to
Those
do that
deep
right
ones
now?
where she has to reach back for phlegm.
Don't,
All the way
please
back.
don't do that. It's gross. Oh, and I don't like it when people sit right next to me and slurp their drink. It just drives me fucking nuts. Please don't.
Tubbs is just taking notes of all of these. He had to turn his paper over.
It's college ruled.
I don't like it when people chew crunchy things and with their mouth open.
That's just rude.
I think that's kind of important.
I don't like it when people eat when they're talking on the phone.
like when people eat.
People just need to stop eating.
The food is all mine.
If you notice it.
Why is it that everything you hate about people revolves around their mouth
That's
or
what I was gonna
liquids?
say. I don't know.
Isn't there a name for that? There's a phobia or something for.
Oh, you must have that Rachel. They're just going to call it. I don't like when people breathe loud.
I don't like it when people
Overall exist in my vicinity.
I don't like it when people slurp cold food. I don't get that.
How do you know if it's cold or not?
No, there was. So I knew this
I know
guy.
exactly what you're talking about.
I knew this guy in college, who when I worked at the cafeteria.
The crappeteria.
Yeah, I called it the cafeteria. It was a freaking awesome place to work at. But anyways,
Sounds like it.
so I worked during Christmas break, and so it was me, the head maintenance lady, and the guy that worked with us. So we were eating some kind of like rolls or something, and he literally sucks it in, or not like sucks it in, but like you know how you eat with hot food. He did that with the fucking roll. I'm like
bread roll.
Yeah.
How do you even do that?
Sounds
I
impossible.
don't know.
Like how would you?
I sat there and I stared at him trying to figure out.
Dipped it in wet liquid.
And then
or warm liquid.
he was eating something else that was cold that it wasn't meant to be slurped in. It was a solid food, but he still fucking did it. I'm just sitting there like my cheek is twitching, my eye is twitching, and I'm like, why the fuck are you doing?
He's sitting across the table from you. You know.
Oh God.
You don't look like an artist.
Where's your cutting board?
Are you sitting on it?
So I told the maintenance lady about it. She's like, no, he doesn't do it. And I said, no, watch this. Tomorrow when we're eating lunch and we're having cold stuff. And she looked over at me. She's like, oh my God.
But it's also it's also negative overall because you make other people notice it.
Yeah,
There's
I'm
been
good at
times
that.
where
I'm
you've
really
told people,
good at
like,
that. Making
this person chews loud. I'm like, no, they don't. Oh man! Now I notice it, and that's part of my life.
yeah, I am.
And I hate you for it every time.
Yep, I'm the perfect person to find a new annoyance for you.
You can't find anything nice to say, sit next to Rachel.
Yep. So anyway, so that's some of the stuff.
Volume 1.
It's not that I don't hate people. I just,
It's not
It's
that
not
you
that you
hate
don't.
people.
It's not that you don't hate them.
yeah, it's just
Their existence bothers me.
humans.
You know when people breathe with their nose or mouth? Overall, body parts.
They blink real loud.
Wow.
Oh, another thing, I don't like when people clean their teeth while I'm eating. That's fucking gross.
What do you mean clean your teeth?
Like pick at
Toothpick
them.
style?
Yeah, they'll sit there, they'll pick at them, and I'm like, the fuck, dude?
I'm just trying to get all of it in, kid.
Oh, that's so gross. I'm like, there's
Does
a
it bother
time
you
and a
when
place.
people pick a toothpick and then go, and then keep going?
Yes.
That is
That's
kind of
awesome.
gross.
I think
I don't know why it's gross.
It's already in your mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, what I did was I described somebody picking something out of their teeth and then sucking the toothpick clean.
Like a piece of bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're not going to waste your
I
bacon.
just gross
That's
myself
just dumb.
out. I guess I don't like to watch or be around when other people clean their teeth.
Or eat.
Or nose, or eyes, or breathe, or anything that has to do with any body part that might be moist. The other day he was standing there, existing so fucking loud.
You could hear his blood pumping. It was annoying.
I think I covered that question.
I think so. Okay.
One of the suggestions. What are other things Rachel hates?
Namaste, people.
All right. So, well, the next question is going to be kind of a downer.
Is it for me?
It's for both of you.
Oh, cool. What do you love about people? Nothing.
How
when they're
exist,
quiet.
How they're at their house and not mine.
So, the question is there anything that could make you give up your passion of, like, your creative passion?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that can make you give it up and stop? Like if somebody said you get $1 million a year for the rest of your life.
Ooh. Well, now we're talking.
It could be anything.
Yeah, but
anything.
I think they say after $700,000 or like some amount, $250,000.
Is that pre-tax or post-tax?
No tax.
Oh, okay.
I think they say after it's a set amount. I think either 70,000 or 170,000 or 250,000.
Why do you have to bring the IRS into this?
Well, because you don't fuck with the IRS. But there's after a set amount of money, the amount of money you make doesn't affect your happiness
Right.
or your
yeah.
you know.
Mhm.
So, I mean, for the rest of your life, $1 million is a good amount of money. You can do a lot of stuff with it. You can help a lot of people, but you're still have to decorate your house.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it doesn't have to be money. It could be anything.
That's what I was trying to think of. Like what people that have no money are still creative.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is that, what situation would it be like? And now you're a vegetable. Like, yeah, I mean, if I can't move, that would be a situation where I wouldn't be creative. I still find a really cool way to blink my eyes, though.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't.
Because I went to like an extreme, like we'll kill your whole family if you create something. Like, yeah, I guess maybe I don't. But a situation,
I don't think that there is anything that could stop me from creating.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You passed.
Thank you. Yay!
I was just wondering. I've wondered that about myself. Like,
is there something for you?
I don't think so. Not that I can think of, but
You don't
I mean,
have a
like
price.
Tubbs always says, everybody has their price.
Everybody has a price. Was it Penn Jillette says never go somewhere money doesn't matter? I was like, that's not cool. Oh, never mind. The way he describes it, yeah, you're absolutely right. Don't go somewhere money doesn't matter.
Huh. I can't think of anything that would make me give up sculpting. Same with you. Yeah.
Well, that's, and I thought of it in the context of like a relationship or anything like that. But I mean, you can always find a way to be creative. If you dated somebody that was scared shitless of sculptures, you would either have a
You
creepy
just
room,
surround the bed with sculptures.
Sculptophobia.
Get over it.
but you would either find a way to do it or find a way to do it that didn't bother them, but you would still be creating.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm saying, like, I can't think of a situation, because that's what struck me as like a loved one.
Mm-hmm.
That would be like, I can't have you doing that. Okay, I can find a workaround for that. Sorry, that's not a good thing.
No, that's fine. I was just wondering.
But on the everybody has a price for non joking.
$20.
$20. Hashtag gay for pay.
So this next one's for you, Tubbs.
Goddamn right it is.
Out of
So you goddamn right it is. Sharing my questions with Rachel. Rachel sharing my questions with
out
Dan.
of you could choose anything, like anything you could think of. If you could master one skill, what would it be?
Anything I could think of. One skill, one title?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, if skill or
Skill.
trade, whatever.
Yeah.
If I could master any skill.
Yeah. Like if you.
Well, I joke about what I would do if I won the lottery, and honestly, I'd go to school for carpentry.
Go to school? No, you just. You
That's
just
what I'm
pick
saying.
one and then you pick one and then you.
No, that's what I'm saying. I would go to school for carpentry, but that's mostly because I'd like to know how to use a bunch of different tools. Master any skill. Any skill. Any skill.
I guess you could go to school for it because that.
No.
When it comes to creative
like,
stuff, learning is part of the fun.
But I'm trying to think of the skill. I mean, metalworking would be a cool skill to use because you can do a lot of stuff, but I really like wood. Woodworking would be a skill that I can master, but I like working with metal too sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Master any skill. Can you guys talk so there's no dead air? So I can think for a second? You know, like I do sometimes. I don't. That's a really hard question. Because I would say carpentry because carpentry would entail some welding
Well, I mean,
and some.
if everything within that trade or that skill.
I'm gonna do what Rachel does. I would master everything I like to do.
Well,
That is
yeah.
my answer.
My
Yeah.
life is a skill.
Pretty much.
Actually,
No.
yeah, master your life.
Not being annoyed by people.
Master your life. You know what? Master how to be happy. Because I only do shit that makes me happy as it is. And I mean, there's really no other reason, in my opinion, to really be alive. Be happy. If making other people happy makes you happy, make other people happy. If killing people makes you happy, maybe go hang out in jail. But that's how I feel. I mean, only do stuff that makes you happy because you're kind of wasting your time if you're not. In my opinion, you're kind of wasting your time if you're not. So how to be happy.
Yeah.
That's like asking for more wishes, because what makes me happy is mastering blacksmithing and woodworking. So, boom, just made the genie.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think I would go. I think I would go with how to be happy. I think, well, because I'm a pretty happy guy most of the time. Unless I'm at home, then I'm a degenerate that beats everybody around me.
You're gonna what?
What? I said unless I'm at home and I beat everybody that's around me.
Oh.
No, I'm joking. But yeah, no, I that's a good. I want to say a skill because I'd like to master some stuff, but I think overall, and I know it's stupid when people say, "Well, I just want to be happy," but the truth is that what else are you trying to do here? The world ends, we all die. Everybody dies.
Yeah.
Be happy while you're here.
9 out of 9 people.
I don't
die.
believe in ghosts.
No, 10 out of 10 people die.
There's a question. If you,
That was a statement.
huh?
Here's a question. That was a statement.
Oh. Here's a question.
I like
How's
what
that?
you did there. I like it.
If you were able to get the ability to live from this point on for another 500 years, would you do it?
Yes.
I know I would.
Yes, without question. Rachel?
No, I wouldn't, because I believe in reincarnation, and I would want to die whenever the agreement was.
What if
or
you're
when
born
it's-
as a girl in China?
Huh?
What if you're born as a girl in
Oh,
China?
well. that
And
would
I'm
be-
back.
Um,
Inappropriate. Well, that's also. Rachel said no before you guys think I'm cutting her off. Because you stopped.
yeah.
You got more? Go wait.
No, that's pretty much sums it
Now,
up.
one of my favorite that I think is kind of an interesting question is if you had the choice of knowing what you know now and going back to like age 8 or jumping to age 45 with $2 million, which one would you pick?
Jumping if well, I don't want to.
So would
Is there option C?
at age 8 would I maintain my maturity?
Yeah, no. You know everything you know now.
Uh-huh.
You'd have lived your life up to this point, and then you hit reset back to age 8.
No, I kind of enjoy being an adult.
I do too.
I'd go back to age 8.
But I would like to say that I'd like to go back to age 8 because I would take what I've learned about sculpting and things I've learned about the world and the politics
And
and
be a savant.
yeah. Oh, it basically would be.
I would go back to age 8. Definitely. I'd pay more attention in school to the stuff that mattered.
Mm-hmm.
Pay less attention to the crap that didn't. I couldn't date because that'd be weird.
Well, since I only have 2 options and I can't make up the rules,
Yeah,
I
weird.
would have to go forward.
Ford?
Yeah, because I don't want to go back.
But I think it's all part of the process.
Being an adult is
I like the
fun.
process. Being a
Well,
kid's funner.
So
Do you remember
much,
when you were
so much no responsibility.
so much no responsibility? You know what my favorite childhood memory is?
Favorite?
My favorite childhood. Damn it, Dale. You know what my favorite childhood memory is?
What?
Not paying bills. Do you remember that? Was it, people just give you shit.
Yeah.
What, you're thirsty? Here's some water. Hungry? Here's some food. Then I'm like, I'm thirsty. Cool, me too. Give me some. Damn
No,
it.
if you had all that knowledge, then you'd be like, no, I got this. I can get my own.
Yeah. I can do so many things.
You would be the most independent 8-year-old. I can wipe my own ass, thank you.
Kind of how cute the nurses.
I enjoy who I am now. I like. I mean, you could easily go back and be like, oh, I could have changed that or not met that person.
I don't like that.
But I like. Huh? You don't like me? Is that what you said? What did you say?
I don't like that.
Oh, I like the person I am now, so I don't want to. I don't want to go back.
I don't try to do this, but I think it'd be cool if I could try to do this. I can't remember where I heard this. I should really write this stuff down because I'm screwing a lot of people over by not knowing who says the stuff. But I don't like regretting stuff. And I know it sounds dumb because nobody likes regret, but the reason I say it is because you're here for a reason. And maybe that's not the best way, and I don't think ends justify means. So, I fucked somebody over, but at least I got the job, I don't think that way, but I do think that you learn from mistakes or you don't, and that makes you who you are. So I don't really regret stuff I do. I think you were a shitty person, and you can continue being a shitty person, or you can not be a shitty person. It's really simple. Like, I talk to my nieces and nephews about stuff like that, and when they say, well, I have to do this, I'm like, what you don't realize is being a shitbag is an option. Like, don't let anybody tell you that's not an option. You can be a shitbag, but people are going to treat you like you're a shitbag. And they look at me like, are you high? I'm like, no, don't let people tell you can't be a shitbag, but don't be a shitbag that expect to get treated like you get treated right now, because that's not how it works. And I think right now a lot of people push college heavily towards kids. Like, you have to go to college. You have to go to college, do something. You have to go to college, do something. And less towards trade schools. Maybe you don't need to go to 4 years of college. Maybe you need to go to a trade school where you can get into doing what you're doing. I mean, we've talked about this a couple of times privately. And now we're going to talk about it on podcast. Some people go to work and they do a great job at work because they're at work and it's a personal pride thing. And some people go to work and that's their life. I do this. This is who I am. Some people get fulfilled from work. Some people get fulfillment somewhere else. And work is just a means to get fulfillment. You know what I mean? Like, I don't go to work because this makes me super happy. I go to work because I have a good job, and I like doing this on the weekend, and what I do for money affords me the time to do that, or the money to do that.
Well, it depends on if what you do for work is what you've been wanting to do.
But in that respect, but I mean, like, for 9 to 5 people go to work that like doing stuff.
Ham and eggers.
Ham and eggers. I don't like that one because I like ham and eggers.
I heard somebody say that once.
I say that. I just think it's funny. I don't like it because I like ham and eggs. But I was making a point, and you said ham and eggers.
You said 9 to 5 jobs. People that go.
Oh, well, they do that to do other stuff, and that gets me back to do what makes you happy. Sometimes you do stuff you don't like to do, but you don't do it because you don't like to do it, and you're a sadist or a masochist. You do it because it makes you happy, and or the end result makes you happy, or what it leads to makes you happy. I'm not saying all life should be like that, but I do think that. Damn it! I forgot the point, and I was getting to it, and then I stopped. What was the question? Because I know where I was going, and I stopped. Oh, well, when you get fulfillment from something. The regret part of it, the going back part of it, the making mistakes part of it, I think it's all kind of part of who you are. And the quote I was trying to remember, that I couldn't remember who said it. I still can't remember who said it, but it's you can't change what happens to you, but you are who you are in that situation. You can change who you are and how you affect the situation. Everybody has shitty stuff happen to them. But just because something shitty happened to you doesn't change who you are. It's something shitty happening to you. And I think sometimes people pull away from that and say, because this happened to me, it's okay for me to do this. And I mean, I know I'm guilty of it. I've just in thinking sometimes, you're like, oh, well, I mean, I did this because of this. But the reality of it is, you're the person that looks at yourself in the mirror. It's the only person you can't lie to. And
Well,
I don't know. I know a lot of people lie to themselves.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. But it comes down to you. They lie to themselves. They're them in a situation. They're not outside. Look, they are who they, and that's what I'm saying. Being a shitbag's an option. Don't rule out being a shitbag at fucking 13. If you don't want to do shit for the rest of your life, don't do shit for the rest of your life. But don't expect not to do shit for the rest of your life and then get treated like royalty. I think nobody says that to anybody. And, well, I just want to be a shitbag. Well, high five, man. Be a shitbag. Well, people are treating me like crap. That's because you're a shitbag. You signed up for it.
Well, it's like I told you the other day. I was talking about losing weight and stuff. That you take yourself wherever you go. So any insecurities you have in you, you can blame other people all you want, but even if you change your scenery, your job, whatever, you're still taking yourself wherever you go.
There you are.
Yeah. So you can blame other people all you want, but ultimately it comes down to you.
And yeah, that's kind of that's kind of the same. Like, shit happens to you, but just because this is a situation doesn't make you any less you. You're the one reacting to it. The only thing you have control over is how you react to stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, people work on that their whole lives, trying to react this way or trying to be that way. And I mean, that's you, and that's why I'm saying I've done some shitty stuff in my life. I've made terrible mistakes, but they're me as much as the good parts of me are me. And you carry it with you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna make mistakes, and you're gonna keep making mistakes in art and life. Ooh, boom, brought the podcast into it. But you're gonna keep making dumb mistakes. You're gonna keep doing dumb shit.
And
How you react to
Moose
that?
thinks.
What?
That's what Moose thinks about that.
Cheers. But yeah,
That is the sound a moose makes.
just don't make any mouth sounds, Moose. But yeah, that's how I feel about that whole. That's when you say like, well, when I regret, don't regret. People are shitty. People are gonna keep being shitty, but you're still you.
Cool.
And it only took like 2.5 hours to get to that point.
Well, I think that's gonna wrap it up for this episode.
Yeah.
And we will continue next episode with more stuff Rachel hates. If you have any suggestions, questions for us, questions about topics, if you want us to expand on a topic, you want us to talk about snowballs, just the name of the microphone I was looking at.
Actually, and when I post this episode, I will ask a question in the comments for you guys to comment on.
But
since we're asking questions.
Yes.
you can talk to us on the YouTube's page or the YouTube page is the Work in Progress podcast.
Yes.
The Work in Progress podcast. You can get us on Google's at
artistwhip@gmail.com.
Jeez. And I'm the one that does that stuff. artistwhip@gmail.com. And you can find us on Instagram at WIPP Podcast, WIPPODCAST. You can reach us on any of those if you have any questions, comments, concerns. I don't know why I said concerns.
We don't care about your concerns.
Well, nope, we don't care about concerns. That wraps it up for the WIPP Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Tubbs.
I'm Dale.
I'm Rachel.
Bye.
Party hard.
Peace.